Hey, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And you gotta ring that bell. Because if you ring that bell, you get notified of all the new videos that come out. Videos like this one. This is a video like I took a classic dish, a lasagna. I'm thinking butternut squash. I'm thinking sauteed spinach with garlic. So I'm going to do a lasagna based on those ingredients. How great is that? But first, I opened the Shopify store. How great is that? Hey, I got sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee mugs, hats. You name it, I got it. Right? Check it out, Shopify. Hey, if you go down to the comments, I pinned the first comment. It's a link to the Shopify store. That's amazing. I'll see you there. Meanwhile, let's get cooking. Okay, so the first thing, and maybe the most difficult thing, is to deal with this butternut squash. Look at that. This thing is hard as a rock. Do you hear that? That's not my head. That's a butternut squash. Very difficult to cut through. Hey, if you go to the grocery store, you can go take a butternut squash. You can ask them to cut it for you in the back. They'll probably do that. They're very nice. Grocery store people are very nice. I used to work at a grocery store. I used to make the convenient foods over there. And people are very nice. They'll cut it for you if you want them to. Very good. Meanwhile, if you have to cut it yourself because you're a person who likes to do things yourself, hey, go right ahead. I'll show you how. I like to use like the tip of the knife, and I start at this part right here. This is the bulb part because it's hollow inside. It's a little bit easier to cut through. And what I do is I use the tip of the knife and stab it down like that. Oh yeah. And then I can get it started. Then I can cut the rest of the way down through the middle of the butternut squash. Check that out. That's beautiful. Hey, this is a great butternut squash. There's a lot of meat. The cavity, which is this part here. See that part here, the cavity. Very small, a lot of meat, very nice. I'm going to take a spoon and scrape this out here. I don't want the seeds, I don't want the pulp. I just want the meat. There we go. Very nice. Now I'm taking a piece of aluminum foil and covering a sheet pan. Hey, the reason why I do this, because there's a lot of sugar in here. Now, it's not added sugar. It's sugar from the vegetable. It's good stuff. But there's some sugar in there. So when it's going to roast, and we're going to roast these, when it's going to roast, that sugar's going to caramelize. If you don't put aluminum foil down, it's going to stick to the pan and make life very difficult for you. Hey, I don't have a dishwasher at home. I have a dishwasher at work, but not at home. I got to wash my own dishes. That's what my wife says. So, I got to make sure the pans don't get too dirty. Put aluminum foil in your pan. Clean up some breeze. All right. Okay, I take some spray oil. And you don't have to spray the pan. It's easy just to spray the bottom of the squash. And then put cut side down on the pan. We're going to roast this for 1 hour. And then we're going to scoop out the pulp and use the pulp. Okay, I put this in a 350-degree oven. Make sure your oven's preheated. And I will see you in 1 hour. I'm going to watch some TV. Okay, so it's been an hour. And there's the butternut squash. Check that out. Okay, so you see that meat is now of the butternut squash. Nice and soft. Beautiful. So when you roast it, you're using a dry heat. So the steam's coming out, there's no water being introduced. You're not boiling it, so no water's being introduced into the vegetable. And the flavor of the vegetables is getting more intense. So it's got a nice butternut squash flavor. Excellent in a lasagna. So we're making this lasagna, right? So lasagna has a couple of components you have to have. First, there has to be some ricotta cheese. And I'm going to use the butternut squash to make ricotta cheese. Then you have to have meat. What kind of meat? Sausage. I'm not going to use sausage, of course, so but what I'm going to use is spinach. So we have spinach and we have butternut squash. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And then we need a sauce. I don't think tomato sauce really goes with this. So we're going to make a white sauce, and all you have to use is a non-dairy milk to make like a bechamel. And I'm going to use the almond milk. There we go. Make sure it's not vanilla. Make sure it's not sweetened. Almond milk. That's it. If you don't want to use almond milk, you can always use any other kind of non-dairy milk. There's hemp milk. There's oat milk. There's all kinds of milks out there that you can use if you can't have almonds. So be careful of that. Okay. Let's get going. Let's make our sauce first. Okay, I'm going to use about 3 cups of almond milk and about a tablespoon of flour, just to thicken it up a little bit. Before the milk gets hot, I want to whisk the flour into the milk. As the milk heats up now, it's going to thicken nicely. 2 cloves of chopped garlic, half a teaspoon of oregano, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and a half teaspoon of salt. And that seasoning is going to be running through the whole lasagna. Hey, let's make our ricotta cheese. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the butternut squash and just scoop out that meat inside, that pulp inside. We don't want the skin of it, we just want all that pulp. 2 cloves of garlic. Quarter teaspoon of oregano. Half teaspoon salt. Quarter teaspoon black pepper. And a quarter cup of nutritional yeast. This is going to give it that real good cheese flavor. Nutritional yeast. It tastes like Parmesan cheese, but it's not. It's made from yeast. And we just want to mix this all together. Hey, make sure you wash your hands first. That's fantastic. Hey, I don't have any stock in Green Giant produce, but I do like it. It's really good stuff. When you talk about spinach, you talk about chopped spinach. There are 2 kinds. There are cheaper kinds like store brands and, I don't know, cheap kinds of spinach. They have a lot of stems because they don't use expensive process to de-stem the spinach. When you get to like Green Giant, it's more leaf and less stem. There's still some stem in there, but more leaf and less stem. And the less stem there is, the better. That stem is not pleasant when you eat it. So you want to get the best. If you're going to use frozen spinach, it's a shortcut. It's okay. You have to use a good quality because otherwise it's going to be very stemmy. Okay, so I'm using frozen spinach. Now here's the trick to frozen spinach, okay? Defrost it in the refrigerator overnight. And then squeeze it. Squeeze that juice out. See that? It should be nice and dry. Otherwise, it's just going to make everything soggy. Frozen vegetables is not bad. Look at the ingredients. The ingredients here is spinach. That's it. So it's a good vegetable. It's blanched, which means it's cooked halfway, and then shocked, which means it's cooked halfway, and then the cooking process is stopped. It's a good product. The good is fresh? No, it doesn't have the flavor of fresh. But sometimes we don't have a vegetable available, or I don't have the time to start cleaning and cooking fresh spinach. So I'll take a shortcut. I use frozen, but I have to treat it right. Don't cook it again. It's already cooked. It's ready to use. Just squeeze the moisture out and go for it. Now we got to season it. 2 cloves chopped garlic. Quarter teaspoon oregano. Quarter teaspoon black pepper. Half teaspoon salt. 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast. Remember that nutritional yeast? That's very good stuff. Mix it up. Hey, wash your hands first. Listen, I can toss this around with a spoon, but I'm just not going to be able to get the spice in with the spinach. It's better with your hands. Just kind of squeeze it together like that. And get that spinach really seasoned nicely. Okay, so that's it. We have the spinach, we have our ricotta cheese made from butternut squash. Hey, we have our sauce. All right, just slightly thickened. That's beautiful. You know, part of the problem with lasagna is it takes so much work. No, oh, I'm gonna throw up. Not anymore. Not anymore, because I got oven-ready noodles. Wonderful invention. I'm sorry I didn't invent it. I got a nice lasagna pan here. I took it from my sister-in-law. She thinks she's getting it back. 50-50 chance. She won't use it. She won't even know it's missing. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. You put down a layer of sauce. Yeah, sauce smells good. And then a layer of lasagna noodles. Try not to overlap these. That's the rule with these, so you might have to break them like that. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful lasagna noodles, okay? A little bit of sauce. Just a sprinkling. I'm going to use about half of this. But I drew a line in the middle like that, so I know how much I'm going to use. I'm going to put some down like that. Just like that. Look at that. Oh, how beautiful that is. Look at that. It's like ricotta cheese. It's like an orange ricotta cheese. Then I'm going to use about half of the spinach. Sprinkle that around. Then I'm going to take this nutritional yeast and give it a nice sprinkle. Give it some extra flavor. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put another layer. Another layer of this lasagna noodle on top. Woo, that's nice. And I want to cover this up good. You don't have to use all the sauce, but make sure there's plenty of sauce on there. Okay, now I'm going to take this casserole. I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven. It's going to take about 45 minutes. All right. I'm going to cover this up. Very easy. Hey, I'm putting it in 350 degrees, 45 minutes. I'm gonna go watch TV now. I think Judge Judy's on. I'll see you later. 45 minutes. All right. Hey, it's been 45 minutes. Okay, so lasagna just came out of the oven. Looking good. Hey, this gotta cool. Make sure it sets a little bit, like 15 minutes. Then you can serve it. It's not gonna get that cold. It's just gonna set. All right? 15 minutes. We're eating dinner. Check that out. Ha! That's what I had for dinner tonight. Fantastic. You see, I put a little bit of tomato sauce on there. You see that? I put a little bit of tomato sauce on there because I like the ass of the tomato sauce with the richness of the lasagna. It's a very rich lasagna, so it works really well. And I ate about 3/4 of it. I feel a little full right now. I might have to take a little bit of bicarbonate of soda. Woo! That was good. Okay, anyway, listen, I got another lasagna video. It's also excellent. It's a mushroom lasagna. You got to see that video. That's also really, really good. And I'll catch you there. Fantastic.